Welcome to Patriot XL with Chris Greenman and Johnny Thunder. Another Chris Greenman Patriot XL show. Just stopping in for a quick thing today. Big day today. Stuff going on with Trump. Huge reduction. I mean, they wanted almost $500 million out of him. Now they've reduced it even before that gets started. It's a lot of fluff. It's a lot of hype in the media. Chris, what's your take? And we're going to get a video on this too, right?
We are. So less than $250,000 now, the $500 million. So, if you look at that like individually, that's like huge. But if you look at it in the big picture, it's not that huge. So no matter what we say, let me just get everyone to see my shirt real quick. I secured that website, by the way, if anyone wants to go to it, JoeBidenIsAnIdiot.com.
You can buy some Easter eggs or something for Easter.
Yeah,
you sell stuff in there. Okay, cool.
So Trump's reaction, I'll play that probably too, was one of the appreciation of the appellate court for at least reducing it. Seeing that it was outrageous. But the left is getting all upset, and so I try to do excerpts of all the media, so we're not just biased, we're not just playing Newsmax or Fox, but here, just check out this part of this.
This is a ticking clock on his $454 million civil fraud judgment. A New York appeals court today deciding it will accept that much smaller bond, $175 million, agreeing to block collection if he puts it up within 10 days. So while he now has more time, Trump will still be forced to answer the question, does he or doesn't he have the money? This is what he said just moments ago.
Greatly respect the decision of the appellate division, and we will abide by that. We'll put up cash or bond very quickly, securities, cash or bond, whatever it is. We'll put it up very quickly, and we'll win the case. I have a lot of cash. You know I do, because you looked at my statements. I mean, you've been examining my statements for a long time, and I have much more than that in cash. But I would also like to be able to use some of my cash to get elected.
I love it.
He's just
You've been looking at my wallet. You know what I got.
You're looking at all my stuff. Why you act like you don't know? It's like, come on, you stupid. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's freaking great. So I don't like really showing MSNBC because they're probably one of the top two worst in biasness. But you can just tell they're a little bit upset. And then But one thing I love about Trump, and it comes from the MMA background with us, Johnny Thunder, in that Trump he's relentless, man. He just doesn't stop. He just keeps on coming at you. And I actually think that's why he loves the UFC. So dude, if anyone's a fighter, yeah, he might not go in the ring, but could you ever take as much crap as he's got? I mean, how many times has this guy been indicted? And it's nuts that he just perseveres. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
I think it turns him on. I think that if you challenge the guy, you give him a court case, he's like, I can't wait to beat you in court. It's like playing hoops for the guy. He's like, yeah, I'll play a couple of one-on-one, play a game of horse, whatever. I mean,
yeah.
He loves it. He loves to get in there and win. It's winning, right?
Winning, exactly. So
I mean, this is the biggest circus I've ever imagined, to see a president being indicted and called to court for so many things. We made the analogy last show, Gotti, get Gotti. It's like trying to get Gotti, but he's not Gotti. So what is it?
I mean, and the thing is, the thing that's crazy is you just reduced bail by, or not bail, the bond by, but like you just said, a quarter, $250 million. I mean,
more than that.
Yeah, more than that. But that alone just shows how frivolous this is. It's like, oh, we'll cut it in half. I mean, it's just stupid.
Three for $1.
I mean, I was kind of hoping, and this is kind of my spin on it. I was kind of hoping they would try to seize some of his stuff, because it's just going to make him skyrocket in the polls, because people aren't dumb. They're going to feel sorry for him. The last thing you want is the people that didn't vote for Trump feeling sorry for him. And that's what you're getting. And that's what that's the whole thing what this really propels is sympathy, And you either, you know, you're usually on one side that you love Trump or maybe you don't love him. But when you start feeling sorry for him and you didn't like him before, maybe you're like, you know what? Now he's the underdog. He's the guy that in the fight that everyone says is going to lose, but somehow you're watching the fight and the dude comes off and he's like, you know, he looks like he could win, and so the crowd turns and they're like, everyone's going against the champ now. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening. Is like so part of me is like, hey, go take his Mar-a-Lago and get all those people out of jobs and see the sympathy you're gonna get from that. You know how many people he employs in these hotels and stuff? Yeah, go take them. Do it.
I'm thinking about the counter lawsuit for some of those actions if they would
Yeah,
take.
exactly, man. It's unneeded, and you got crime at the highest rate over in New York, and people like getting killed every day on the subways and all sorts of stuff. And you're trying to go after something that there was no victim. You look like a complete imbecile.
Well, did you see how like they have the National Guard in the subways, you know, with rifles armed
Yeah,
up?
and
Okay.
that's what we
I don't know if
talked
I
about.
saw something where they said they took away the rifles, but anyways, they're armed. You know,
And that's what you see. You know, you've been to third world countries. I've been to them, and that's what you
Yep.
see when you go to those places. It's that uncertainty. It's the lack of law. You know, that's when you have situations like you shouldn't have that in America. You should have stiff consequences for your actions, which we've talked about on previous shows, and then you get order. You should have, and he's, you know, Trump said it all along, law and order. I don't care who the president is. You have to have law and order. And right now we have no order. The laws aren't.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at this whole thing. It's a mixture of Escape from New York, you know, that movie,
Yeah.
and it's a
No,
mixture of the movie The Siege, mixed in with the Warriors, you know, those guys in disco
Oh,
vests that were gang
come out
fighters.
to play, those guys. With the
Yeah,
Warriors?
Warriors come out and play. Yeah,
Yeah, I like that. That's like when you bring it. You know, that's when they used to fight with like fists and knives and like sticks.
Yeah, and wear leather vests with no T-shirt on. That was always
Yeah,
cool.
and people liked you because you look like the people from YMCA. Yeah, you're right.
It's funny because what movies tell, right? So here's an ironic movie because things have become, you know, sanctuary cities and so forth. There was a movie called The Last Chase in 1981, and
Okay.
Lee Majors, the $6 million man, starred in it. And it was
Oh.
like the world. They took away cars and gas cars and stuff, and he had this racing Porsche. And he was going to escape. I don't know if he was in Kansas or something. So he's like, I'm going to escape to California where it's free. So there's the first irony. That's where the movie got it all wrong, you know? So he's trying to escape to California. Maybe he was looking for sanctuary. Who knows? But yeah, he's getting chased and he's got this Porsche and he's finding old gas stations and finding gas at the bottom of the pump and getting chased by a guy in a jet. But it's just kind of funny because kind of looks like what's going on these days, trying to see where you're getting powered car.
100%.
And they want you to escape to California, which is really not escaping. So it's maybe there's something in the message.
Definitely. So let's go to our Shark Tank buddy Kevin O'Leary. I don't know if you guys are. I'm a huge Shark fan, and you know, Kevin O'Leary. He's involved with the financial world a lot, and he always has some good insights. So I want to play a little bit from this one.
He had a good point too. He's talking about finances. He's talking about people leaving New York. If you screw up business in New York, who's going to want to do business in New York?
Yeah, think the thing about Kevin O'Leary. It's not that he's a huge Trump fan. It's just, but he's definitely.
It's talking from the basis of doing business. It's not
exactly
safe to have your business here if they can just like say you did something that you didn't do and take it from you.
Yeah, and Johnny, you know, you get a lot of these people that haven't traditionally been Trump fans, but are coming to the table and supporting him, which is crazy. I think, like Joe Rogan. You know, I'll throw Joe Rogan out there because we've met him, talked to him, interviewed him, and he wasn't really on the Trump train, but now he's saying he's going to vote for Trump, and Trump's definitely the way he's going. So it's unusual to see all these people, you know, switching their previous beliefs because they see reality coming in, and even guys like Kevin O'Leary as well. So
eventually reality gets to you. I think, you know, what's crazy. I hear a lot. I listen to Rogan here and there to fall asleep. That's how I get into podcasts in the beginning. Seriously, like 15 minutes. I hit the Z's, you know, and it's like jujitsu, weed bros, and comedians. Okay, pretty much same theme.
It's like,
you know.
Yeah, man. No,
yeah,
I got
man.
you.
Well, basically listening to Rogan, and I hear him talking about he's war gaming so much in his head. The media's got him scared. He's hearing about the war in Ukraine. He's hearing about the, you know, Red Sea and the new hypersonic missiles. And okay, let me tell you real quickly. And one day we will do war gaming out here. Hypersonic missiles get shot out of the sky by a Patriot battery that's not hypersonic. So there you go. You know what I mean? There you need to know. What do you need to know? They're defeatable.
Exactly, exactly. And we have, a lot of them, a lot of them.
he's a
Listen,
he's an
from a mil-
entertaining character.
he is, man. If anything else, for entertainment only. But people have to understand. Yeah, China's a superpower, Russia's a superpower, and yeah, they're getting better, and you don't know about what they're going to do, but the mentality. But the bottom line is, we have bases all around that are
Yeah.
ready, and I don't think people quite understand how. Although we live in a global world where everything seems close, you actually have distance that mean a lot. Your proximity to an area and I'll just leave it at that. That I wouldn't be right now about anything. I wouldn't get overrated about stuff. We are still the superpower, and we will.
But the media wants clickbait, so they're going to sell you something else. But it's gotten to Rogan. Rogan's like,
right.
He's like, what about this? What about that? I go, Rogan, quit worrying about your mortality. You're worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Congratulations, you've done well.
And you're, not to get off beat, but have you seen Rogan's house? It's like
I think I saw a picture of it.
It's like a fortress, dude. He's obviously worried about getting bombed. If you saw it, man. And then Zuckerberg saying the thing, man. They got these shelters where they can live like for 6 months. Well, congratulations, man. We get nuked, and you get to go underground for 6 months and live with some of your homies.
And then you get to wake up to they closed Safeway. Yeah,
yeah. Your food supply ran out. You don't know how to be a farmer. You don't know how to self-prepare. So you're screwed. You're gonna die anyways.
Hunt for deer, but they get wiped out in the nuke. So what are you gonna hunt for?
Yeah.
Bunch of flesh-eating homeless zombies, maybe.
Yeah, but hey, you made it longer than everybody else. Good job, man.
Court lowering former President Donald Trump's bond in that civil fraud case. He will still have to pony up about $175 million within 10 days' time. He says he'll do it promptly and he'll do it with cash. But the news comes that he's on the verge of making billions after his social media company, True Social, goes public. Kevin O'Leary now, chairman of O'Leary Ventures, with us now, and let's take it one at a time. First, on the federal appeals lowering, he just shot out a message saying Trump Tower remains mine, huge victory. How do you see it, Kevin?
I look at this from a completely different point of view. Let's go up to 30,000 feet and talk about the American economy, our ability to remain number one worldwide, and most importantly, attracting foreign capital to invest in America. And the concept and why that happens and has for over 175 years is in our Constitution, property rights are mentioned over 25 times. So this is very important because if you're going to go over to the Middle East or to Denmark or Europe, where I'm going next week to raise money for American projects, notably data centers, when they give $3 billion to you, they want to know their property rights are protected. And so what was happening in New York was extremely scary. And I have to admit to you, in the last 2 weeks, I kept telling them before our meetings, don't worry, the adults will step in. Something will happen to advance the appellate process. Your rights are protected. Imagine me telling foreign investors that as they watch this roll out in New York. Thank goodness the adults came to the rescue. And now we have a process beginning, a 60+% reduction in this infraction fee, and that really should be getting more to what's balanced. Trump assuring everybody he has the cash to back the bond. These are good advancements towards keeping the stable message about the American brand as the number one economy to invest in.
Kevin, let me actually dig into that a little bit more, because I think you might be the only one who can answer this question for me. You know, Mark Levin tweeted something over the weekend about, he was asking where are all the pro-Trump Republican billionaires out there? Why aren't they cutting checks for the former president? And I thought to myself when I read that, well, they're dealing with their own legal issues. And one perfect example is Taryn Pizer. And people are dealing with indictments from the DOJ, and from conversations I'm having from very successful people out there that make a lot of money, it's almost like they're afraid to be successful. You're afraid now to live in this country.
You know, that's that last point was really, and Kevin brought a good point with that the adults are coming to the table finally. So I think we're beginning to see that, and that's real clear in what he said. It's not ideal. I mean, it's a great start.
I do agree. It's like, when are the adults going to step to the table? It has been nothing but a drama show. I mean, our country feels like it's just being run by a theatrical troupe or something.
Right.
And, we're going to make here comes Monday. Trump's going down Monday. All weekend hammering on the same thing. Yeah, we already know. No, we're going to tell you again. We're going to change the variants in which way we pronounce this. But, people being scared to step up. Like, if you got people scared, people need not to be scared, and they need to stand up to everything.
Exactly.
You got to speak truth to power, man. That's what you got to do. Can't be get run over there.